Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 22 in another part of our Brawn GP My Team career mode, and today we are back in the midst of Season 2 and we are taking part in the Spanish Grand Prix. It's going to be a good one, I think. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the issues have been sorted out. There has been a recent patch. This is the first time I've played the game since that big patch, so hopefully things are looking good on that behalf. We have got some developments that we are expecting in the running by the start of the Spanish Grand Prix, but we have got 472 points to spend, so let's just have a little look and see if we can grab anything while we're here. So those are pretty hefty ones, as are those. So let's go into chassis, and most of the developments now are just expensive, really. 932 is probably the best one we've seen, and obviously we need to get into some durability upgrades. So with that in mind, we have got about 4 million in the bank, so let's go and upgrade our durability facility to at least a spec 1. So I think what we want to do is some quality control, and we might as well do we want to do anything else? Maybe the build time. Yeah, maybe do that. That looks good. But yeah, so far so good this season. It's been a tricky one in terms of the first race was just a disaster. We ran out of fuel, of course. Nico Hulkenberg had his own incidents, and since then at least one of us has retired from each of the races. But in the other car has always finished in the points, and that means that we are currently 5th in the Constructors' Standings. I think that's a realistic target this year after finishing 7th last year. We're 9th and 10th in the Drivers. I do believe that we can move up a little bit. If you look at our R&D performance comparison, then we are sort of fighting out with Ferrari and Red Bull and McLaren and Mercedes as being the best team. But after the upgrades, we should really be ahead of the mark. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can have a strong performance this weekend. So without further ado, let's head on and put some activities in there. So that one looks pretty good, that team building exercise. Ooh, that one does look good as well. That will get us some decent sponsor stuff, and as well this. That's very, very good. So that should help our team acclaim a little bit. I don't think we need to do much else. So let's head on and see how the upgrades come along. There we go. We are gaining.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Yeah, so 722 now. I don't think we're going to have quite enough. But there you go, more team acclaim. Oh, well, 2 of them have failed. It hasn't made a difference, so we are now, in theory, the best performing team. Let's see how much it will cost to get these upgrades sorted out. Those bearings, how much is that going to cost us? 396. Let's just double check. So that's going to come after Monaco, which is fine. The chassis upgrade. So that will be 478, and this will be in place by Monaco. So I think it makes more sense to get the chassis upgrade, and then just pay for this one when we get into the weekend. That will be absolutely fine, because we're not going to need extra engine performance in Monaco particularly. But it would be quite nice if we could get some extra chassis performance. So yeah, let's keep going then. So we have had a power unit upgrade from Mercedes as well, which is very, very nice. Let's just have a look at that. This air filter, by the looks of it, which is nice. Very, very good. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go then for the next Grand Prix. Let's head to the race weekend and see what the result is in terms of our development. So Let's have a little look. I think it will be a 50%, a 25% of this one, because not many overtaking opportunities in Spain, so kind of makes sense. Let's have a look. Wow, look at that. That is a huge spike in performance, and we are a bit ahead of Ferrari now, which is very nice to see. McLaren very much the fourth best team, but Lando Norris is the one that's currently dominating the season. He has finished in the top 2 in the last 4 Grand Prix. Of course, has won the last 2 Grand Prix, so let's see how he gets on this weekend. But McLaren very much in with the chance to be right in there fighting for this championship. Mercedes and Alpine pretty close behind as well, so this could be a really exciting weekend. Let's see how we get on in qualifying. Okay then, let's take you on a lap of this Catalunya circuit, and we are underway, and Lando Norris is the car right behind us, and certainly from what I've played in practice, I believe I'm still on the same difficulty that we had in Miami, which was I think 70 AI, and still not absolutely blown the AI out of the water, considering we apparently have the fastest car. So don't think we'll be moving the difficulty back to normal this weekend, that's for sure. But I am also rusty on the game because I haven't played it for a good week and a bit now. But absolutely going for it on this lap so far. Not as quick as Norris behind, but still should be in the top 10, you feel, with this lap time, but might not be. So we got to throw it into these final few corners. We might have enough fuel to go for a second lap. So here we come, out the final corner. And there you go, we go P3, which is ahead of Nico Hülkenberg for now. And I'm going to keep pushing into a second flying lap here, because I do think we could have done even better than that. And Lando Norris has gone quickest. Once again, he is just the man to beat at the moment. You can see already 0.2 of a second up here. As long as the fuel holds out all the way to the end of the lap, we're going to be improving, which I think we probably need to do.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Absolutely flat out through turn 10. Actually purple through sector 2, which is a very technical section, so that shows how good the car is underneath us. Again, just lose it slightly out of the final couple of corners, but it is a good run up to the line, 0.4 quicker, and that puts us still P3, but on a 1:18.2, which is a much better time, just ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, our teammate, in 4th. But what's worrying for me is that it's Albon in 5th for Williams, and yeah, maybe he's not too far behind. But yeah, let's head back to the garage and we'll see exactly what that means for us. Can we have a little look? Yeah, you can see we're pretty close. Hülkenberg, not so close. Albon and Magnussen up there. Bottas about a second off. I mean, you know, obviously Leclerc, Ricciardo and Sainz, they're probably going to go through. Perez is looking pretty low, but let's have a little look. So Ricciardo pops up into P6. I think we'll probably be safe on that time. I think we might as well risk it and save the tyres for Q2. Yeah, right in amongst those cars. And you can see none of them are leaving the pit lane currently. We'll keep an eye on that. So Norris... Is he out there again? Norris is out there again, to be fair. Let's just watch him for a sector or so, because he is absolutely nailing it at the moment. You can see how much confidence he's got in that car. He is slightly down on his previous time. Second through the speed trap as it stands. So McLaren's straight line speed very, very strong, and that is perhaps what's getting them through at the moment. But here we come round the final corner with Lando Norris, and it's going to be up to the line with a 1:19.1, which is, you know, a fair bit off his best time. So let's just keep an eye. I mean, Sainz is out again, as is Magnussen. None of these top guys are going out there though, so I think we're absolutely fine and should be safe. And through to Q2, as Nico Hülkenberg went quickest there. And we go down to 8th place in the end, and Sergio Perez finishes Q1 fastest. And you can see, I mean, that there's probably a 10-way fight for pole position today. Is that ridiculous to say? Everybody, you know, within a very, very small amount of time of each other. But going out in Q1 is Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, Nicholas Latifi, Oscar Piastri, and Zhou Guanyu. Here we come up to the line then for our first lap in Q2. And what's it going to be? It's a 1:18 flat, which puts us pretty much bang on with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris there, and Nico Hülkenberg in P4 at the moment. So it's very, very interesting. I do think we can get a little bit more out of this, but we'll just have to see. Well, with about 3.5 minutes to go, it's a bit of a dilemma actually as to whether we want to go out again. I am a bit concerned that we do need to keep some tyres fresh for tomorrow after Australia. So I do think it would be beneficial to stay in the garage, but equally we could risk our position in Q3. But looking at that, you know, the only person I can really see getting above us are, or people I should say, are Perez and Hülkenberg, and Sainz potentially, Russell potentially as well, but lots of people well off the pace here. So I am looking at this, and Hamilton's gone out again. He's currently fastest any of these, considering going out. Hülkenberg's gone out. So Norris hasn't gone out. That's sort of my reference point at the minute. Norris is the championship leader. He hasn't gone out. Ricciardo has. And so has Norris. So I think we're going to have to go out there. Everybody seems to be going out. So we'll just have to try and save one set of tyres for Q3. Maybe you use a used set. So we've got a brand new set in the race tomorrow, but yeah, going out there on the outlap. We'll see you when we get to the magic moment. Okay, here we go then, gearing up for our final lap in Q2. Can we get through to Q3? It's going to be the big question. We are the last man over the line, so we'll get to know whether we can duck in the pits or not. Slight missed apex through turn 1, but aggressive on the curbs through turn 2, holding it in there. through the long turn 3. Bottas goes up to 8, so he's not going to make it through. Hulkenberg, I think, might have gone above us. I'm not entirely sure. We're down to 7th as it stands, slightly up on our previous time. Come through still in 9th place. I think there are a couple that could usurp us here. That's not a good corner. No, we're losing time now. The 9th. You can see we're still slightly up on our previous time. We're in 10th. I think we're safe. We come up to the line, slight improvement, still 10th though. But yeah, I am glad I got out there. It would have been very, very tense had we not. Let's have a look at this top 10 then. And yeah, we were 3/10 ahead of K-Mag in the end, slightly behind our teammate Hulkenberg, but we know there's a lot more time on the table. But yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting Q3. Are we going to be able to get pole? Or are we going to be stuck down in 10th? Let's find out. Here we go then. First run at pole position on the used soft tyres. Trying to keep a new set for the final qualifying. Oh, sorry, the race. We have got 2 more sets of new tyres, so we'll be able to use one for our final quali run. It's very strong sector 1. We know if we can nail sector 2, we are quickest through here. So we need to try and give ourselves the best possible chance. This is a banker time. But we know we were only 10th coming into Q3. So we're going to have to find a little bit of time if we're wanting to be going through and trying to get pole position. I didn't see what time that was. A 1:18.8 by the looks of it. We should be well ahead of that time. So here we come, up to the line. This could be a good first one for us. And it's a decent opening gambit, a 1:18.197, which puts us 3rd at the moment. That's a decent banker time. It is a decent banker time. Now, you can see we're gaining time already in Sector 1, and we do have enough fuel here, so I don't see the harm in trying to complete this lap. You can see much tighter line through there. Helped us immeasurably. These tyres are now on their 3rd flying lap. But we might as well finish this because we're nearly 2/10 up on what we achieved. Oh, we lose it. Well, it's good to know there is definitely time on the table. We'll let Hamilton through. And Hamilton currently leading the way. Looking like he might go onto pole position. So we're 5th as it stands. Not bad. Let's have a little practice into the pits.
Less than 1 lap of fuel left now. The tank's pretty much empty.
There you go. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Right, let's head into the garage. Let's have a look at the top 10. I know we've spent quite a bit of time on qualifying today, but I think that's been exciting. So Lewis Hamilton and George Russell leading the way in a 1-2. Ricciardo 3rd. He has been a little bit quicker than Norris so far. Leclerc 4th. We're 5th. And then quite a gap to all of the cars behind. So yeah, let's see how we get on. We've got one more set of tyres. We're going to go for the Q3 tyres, and we'll see how we get on in our final qualifying lap. Well, once again, we're very much going to be the final man over the line. This is everything we've got. Brand new tyres, no fuel in the car. We're going to leave everything on the table here. Going to try and not look at what's happening to everybody else. Just focus on every braking zone. Getting the best out of it. That was an absolutely fabulous first sector, and you can see 3.5 tenths up as it stands. That is a purple first sector. Now absolutely nailed it through sector 2 as well. This is good. Oh, we nearly went too wide there and lost the time. That would have been devastating. Just got to finish it off now. Tyres screaming for mercy as we come round the final corner. This is going to be the best lap of the weekend so far. We come up to the line and it's a 1:17.2, which is pole position.
Really well done. That was
What a lap that was to finish it off. And we finally extracted all of the performance out of the car and left it until the very last lap in qualifying. We will settle for that, and a comfortable chunk ahead of people in the end, but there you go.
Hamilton and George Russell. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
And it is a British 1-2-3 to go into the race tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, we've seen quicker times than that. I think it was a 17.1 that Hamilton did in Q2. You know, yeah, but nobody hooked it up in the final qualifying lap. So there you go. We are on pole position. Nico Hülkenberg only starting 10th.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. It's a race which saw Max Verstappen take victory on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016, after that dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hotspot for overtakes. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. The captain lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Perez, Sainz, Verstappen and Nico Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Ocon, Valtteri Bottas and Albon, Gasly, Vettel, Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Latifi, Oscar Piastri and Guan Yu Zhou. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. And joining me again for the race today, Natalie Pinkham. Let's talk about the captain. That was a solid result in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
Well, there are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out will have boosted their confidence coming into this race.
Okay, here we are down on the track then, ready and raring to go. Let's have a little gander at our soft tyres. I'm hoping that they are starting at 100%. Are they starting at 100%? That's very difficult to tell. They certainly don't seem to be too badly worn. But yeah, it is what it is. I think we are going to go for the softs and the mediums. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Yeah, I think that is going to keep our times good towards the end of the Grand Prix. Yeah, it does look much better. Yeah, surely softs then the mediums are going to be the way to go. Surely. Let's just have a look at this one, and what if you were to go medium, and then, yeah, it's just not quite as good. So, yeah, let's go for the softs and the mediums, and let's get out there. Let's just take a little bit of fuel out of the car first. But, yeah, starting on pole position, you want to get that advantage
The formation
early
lap gets
on.
underway, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
And there you go, we lead away. Hamilton and Russell behind, Ricciardo 4th, Leclerc 5th with Norris in 6th, Perez 7th, Sainz 8th, Verstappen 9th, and Hulkenberg in P10.
To form up and get ready for lights out. Let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
And here we go, lining up on pole position. It's going to be an intense first lap or so. We usually do get off to good starts, but having not played the game for a little while, it might not be the case today. But our first ever pole position, and we're ready to lead the cars away and come straight over and defend from Lewis Hamilton. I think that's got to be the target. So here we go, ready for the lights. Lights out, away we go here in Spain. It's a decent start off the grid, but Hamilton off to a better one. Hamilton off to a better start. But who's going to have the better line going into turn 1? It is going to be Hamilton, and Russell having a little look as well. And the Mercedes take 1 and 2. And we stay back a little bit to try and benefit from a little bit of slipstream. But yeah, the Mercedes cars looked very, very strong off the start there, and we are down to P3. But we would certainly take that today. That would be an excellent result, our best result of the season. But now we got to try and stick with these cars and know that they're going to be battling as well. They're very evenly matched, Russell and Hamilton, so don't expect there to be no further movements in this Grand Prix. But it was a wonderful lap to get pole position. We're going to now need... Oh no! Well, little bit of contact there with Charles Leclerc, that was the world champion. Well, we've messed that up a little bit. Here comes Leclerc now, trying to slipstream us. Oh, a bit of ghost in there. Not sure why that was the case. We take the outside line and we are through. And now we got to try and settle into a good rhythm. They join me on lap 4 of this Grand Prix, and we are so closed in on Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. We need to get within that 1 second window if we want to make a move. 1.4 seconds ahead of Lando Norris at the moment. Ricciardo has just made a move for 5th ahead of Charles Leclerc. They still seem to be side by side, but we're staying in touch with the top 2 at the moment. No moves as of yet from George Russell on Lewis Hamilton though. Well, we've finally made it back into the DRS zone, or DRS window of George Russell and that is going to help us because our straight line speed is pretty good in this Brawn GP car these days. And certainly through the corners we are excelling at the moment. So at this stage of the Grand Prix we're looking pretty quick, but obviously we got two cars that we have to deal with if we are to get into the lead of this Grand Prix. But now we're almost within a second of Lewis Hamilton, so this is working out very, very nicely at the moment. A little bit of turbulent air through there and we couldn't absolutely floor it. But we're just taking these corners so much tighter than the Mercedes cars, and it looks like we've looked after our tyres. I guess we've potentially got fresher tyres than them because we started the race on brand spanking new soft tyres. And there goes Hamilton. He's had enough. Hamilton into the pits. Russell will obviously have DRS this lap.
Push now, we're boxing this lap.
But possibly not next lap. Now, what tyres are they going on to? Looks like mediums for Hamilton, so I was thinking I will match whatever Hamilton will do. He's gone on to mediums, so we shall do the same. But whether we want to try a little cheeky overcut. It's a decent wide line to try and stay close to Russell through these corners. Just can't get that absolutely flat out.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
This isn't bad though. It's whether one more lap would push the boat too far. Yeah, we are going to come in.
And it looks like the
Right,
pit
we're
crew
in.
are out in the lane
It was a
and
bit
ready
of
to
a
perform
slow
their
entry,
magic on
but
the
I
car.
think we're okay.
They're gonna be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time
So
possible.
Perez takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Russell's out. Russell's out. And come on. We're away. That's decent. It looks like Hulkenberg's in the pits. What's he doing in this lap?
See these tyres through to the end now.
That's surely going to ruin his race. Now, where's Hamilton? I don't know. That's Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton is ahead, so he's ahead of Sebastian Vettel by the looks of things. So we've done the right thing. But it looks like George Russell has potentially jumped Lewis. Oh, well, that's Lando Norris as well. We're obviously battling him for position. Oh, down the inside. And we just about stay ahead of Lando Norris, but that could have been an absolute disaster. Everybody on medium tyres. I thought some might go for the hards. But no, medium tyres it is. Now, Hamilton very much is behind George Russell. And here we come past all of the pit lane crew. And we are still in third place, but 3.6 seconds behind George Russell, who is the new race leader. He must have had an absolutely stonking pit stop, because not only has he jumped Lewis Hamilton, his teammate, he has jumped us by nearly 4 seconds. Now, I still believe we have got the pace to catch up, but I don't think we've perhaps got enough of a pace advantage to pass both of them in this Grand Prix. We need Lewis Hamilton to be battling with George Russell, and he is dropping off. As it stands, well, we are catching Hamilton at a rate of knots, but not George Russell. And Lando Norris is right in this battle as well. So Hamilton has very much dropped off his medium tyre pace, not quite as good as the rest of us. But the problem is we've lost it a little bit out of the first couple of corners, and now we're under pressure from Lando Norris. But that's the thing, we're still closing in on Lewis Hamilton, so he must have an issue of some sorts, because he should be a lot quicker than this. Well, here comes Lando Norris then. Don't think we've got enough pace to cope with him.
The gap behind us is 5.8 seconds.
Tried an old switcheroo there, but this one's gonna work out, and I think we're maybe gonna have to follow him up to the back of Hamilton. But yeah, Norris, championship leader, still fighting to get into that top two, which is where he has been for the last 4 Grand Prix.
4.5 seconds.
Well, you join me with just over 2 laps to go, and you can see Norris has closed in on Lewis Hamilton. He's going to have DRS onto the main straight. And is he going to close in on Lewis Hamilton? He is closing in, but not close enough, so there's going to be one more chance for Norris on Hamilton, and we're looking to take advantage of any sort of mistake from either of them. It's been pretty crazy. We've sort of stuck to the same pace as Lewis Hamilton in this second stint, but Lando Norris this season on the medium tyres is just blowing everybody else out of the water. Oh, medium tyres are starting to go just a little bit. I'm not quite able to stay as close this lap, but you can see how close Lando Norris is now to Lewis Hamilton. If he gets a good run onto the main straight, he is going to get one chance at it. Looks like George Russell is going to do enough to win this Grand Prix. Norris now in the slipstream of Hamilton, but I don't think he's close enough. I don't think he's close enough, so Hamilton looks like he's going to finish second as long as he hangs on. And he's going to break Norris's streak. But yeah, we're struggling now. Definitely struggling. We push so hard on the mediums early on, and if you do that, you definitely pay later in the stint. But George Russell is still pushing hard. He's going to be the victor today. It looks like Hamilton is going to hang on because Norris can't get close enough. He's right behind him. He is glued to him. You feel like a couple more laps and Norris would be through. He just can't get the run. And now Norris right behind Lewis Hamilton. Oh, we've run out of fuel. Well, are we going to be able to stay in front of Perez? No, we're not, so we're going to finish 5th. Well, that is crazy.
End of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Another race where we've run out of fuel. But yeah, George Russell wins. Hamilton 2nd. Lando Norris 3rd. We finish 5th, and that's 2 lost points.
Effort then, which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
While Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend, it's great to see them up on that podium once again. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. It's a good result for Lando Norris, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there you go then. George Russell wins the Spanish Grand Prix ahead of Lewis Hamilton in second. Lando Norris third. We would have finished fourth, and it would have been a British 1, 2, 3, 4, which would have been awesome. Perez finishes in fourth instead as we ran out of fuel at the end there. Daniel Ricciardo finishes in sixth. Max Verstappen in seventh, with Sainz eighth, Hülkenberg ninth, and Charles Leclerc in 10th position. Esteban Ocon there in 12th, with K-Mag in 11th. No DNFs today, which is very, very interesting. In the drivers' standings, we're 9th and 10th with our teammate Nico Hülkenberg. Lando Norris really leading the way, more than a race victory ahead of Charles Leclerc now. And Perez third, Verstappen fourth, Sainz fifth, Russell in sixth, Hamilton seventh, Ricciardo in eighth. Constructors, Ferrari leading the way 9 points ahead of McLaren, and further 2 ahead of Red Bull. Then Mercedes, in fourth place. We are in no man's land really in fifth place, but with the sort of delta of our performance over the other teams, I think the top 5 are pretty much set for this season, unless the likes of Alpine and maybe even Williams get up there with some extra performance. But that is where we're going to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed that, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.